When it comes to something that's as broad and diverse as the racing game genre, very few franchises have left an indelible mark in the way that Need for Speed has. In 2012, the franchise underwent a radical transformation with the release of Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was a reboot that sought to redefine the open-world racing experience. But, as a certain member of the Blacklist would say, it was all show and no go. So join me today as we delve into the intricate details of Most Wanted 2012's development, taking a look at the ambitious plans that the creators had, and to understand why it sparked both admiration and criticism upon its release. As the racing game landscape evolved, Criterion Games, who were best known for the Burnout series, took the reins from Black Box Studios to reinvent the iconic Most Wanted title. The years from Need for Speed Undercover all the way up to The Run were challenging to say the least, with the latter title having been made while the studio was also working on Skate 3 and Need for Speed World, so to say they were stretched thin was the understatement of the century. When Black Box closed, the Need for Speed fandom was treading down uncharted territory. The studio single-handedly responsible for some of the all-time classics of the series like Hot Pursuit 2, Underground 1 and 2, Most Wanted 2005, Carbon, and Pro Street had ceased to exist. Now that Criterion was steering the ship, the challenge set forth was clear: reimagine a beloved classic while preserving the essence that made the original a fan favorite. Fiona Sperry was the executive producer at Criterion during development of Most Wanted 2012. She knew the tall and daunting task ahead would challenge and push the dev studio to their absolute limits, as they did not want to stain the beloved Most Wanted name. It was a delicate balance. We wanted to honor the legacy of Most Wanted while injecting new life into the series. The open-world environment was a key element that we aimed to amplify. Now let's talk about said open-world environment. The team envisioned Fairhaven, a sprawling city with no discernible boundaries, allowing players the freedom to explore and race on their terms. This open-world design was a significant departure from the structured tracks of its predecessor. The first Underground title had Olympic City, a gigantic map with plenty of landmarks, back alleys, and side streets, but there was a big problem. The racing in that game was restricted to closed circuits and point-to-point sprints around certain sections of the map. Underground 2 fixed all of this, allowing for a full free-roam experience throughout the city of Bayview. So with the blueprint being laid out, Criterion Games promised an interconnected world in Most Wanted 2012, where every street corner would be a starting line and every car a potential prize. Speaking of cars, let's touch on what the team did to make sure Most Wanted 2012's selection of cars fit the bill for what they wanted this game to accomplish. Matt Webster was another executive producer at Criterion that oversaw development of Most Wanted 2012. When it came to the selection of cars, Matt wanted to make sure that no corners were cut, offering every type of car to satisfy as much of the player base as possible. We wanted to immerse players in a dynamic car culture, make them feel the thrill of the chase. The Most Wanted list, a roster of the city's top racers, became our narrative framework. As it pertains to the online experience, multiplayer seamlessly integrated with the single-player mode. Autolog, a groundbreaking social platform first introduced in Hot Pursuit 2010, which was also made by Criterion, kept players connected, comparing stats and challenging each other in real time. Most Wanted 2012 was also the birth of the Speed List system. Free roam lobbies with challenges involving a whole host of different objectives in different parts of the map, with speed points and bragging rights up for grabs. The speed lists would make a return in 2015's Need for Speed, a return to the illegal street racing and tuner car culture that made Underground 1 and 2 so beloved by so many. As the release date grew near and near, anticipation reached a fever pitch. The stage was set for Most Wanted to captivate a new generation of fans. At Gamescom 2012 in Cologne, Germany, players would get the chance to see their first look at gameplay of the upcoming title, featuring footage of a race and showcasing the physics and handling model, while also showing off just some of the cars that would be available. Gaming journalist Jason Hill knew that fans were expecting something big from a game with a subtitle as significant as Most Wanted. The expectations were sky high. Most Wanted had the pedigree, the technology, and the creative minds behind it. Gamers were ready for the next evolution in racing. Upon release, Most Wanted received praise for its stunning visuals, gameplay, and the seamless integration of online features. However, it also faced criticism for not aligning with the spirit of the original Most Wanted title. Sarah Thompson, a gaming historian, gave her 2 cents on Criterion's attempt at modernizing the Most Wanted name. Purists felt the game lacked the depth and narrative focus of the original. The absence of a coherent storyline and the departure from the gritty underground racing scene left some fans yearning for the past. And she's not wrong either. Absolutely zero customization. You were forced to use the stock body kit on every single car that you picked up, with the exception being some DLC cars, as they had their own respective body kits. For example, a DLC pack titled Need for Speed Heroes was released, which included some of the most iconic cars. I mean, everything is here. Rose GT2 from Need for Speed Undercover, the Diablo from Hot Pursuit, Eddie's Skyline without the iconic body kit, the M3 GTR without the engine whine, and a walking billboard for Need for Speed Underground 2, which may just be the saddest attempt at recreating Rachel's 350Z that I have ever seen. Circling back to customization, the only thing that you could change was your body paint color by driving through different gas stations that were plotted around the map, harkening back to the Burnout series where doing that would repair your car. Speaking of cars, you can't purchase a single one. Every car in the game had 3 locations called jack spots where they would be parked. Find a car, get into it. That's it. No impromptu police chase, and yes, I will get to that, but nothing was there to stop you. The car is just automatically added to the car list. Progression was virtually non-existent as well. Speed points were the main currency of this game. Accumulating them by doing races and other things across Fairhaven would take you up the most wanted list to face most wanted racers. Beat them one-on-one while dodging the massive police force that I'm sure Fairhaven taxpayers would like to stop contributing towards. I mean, come on now, this police department pays for Crown Vics, Dodge Chargers, Chevy Corvettes, Ford Explorers, and SWAT trucks, all of which are sent to their doom at the hands of the player because these things aren't intimidating whatsoever. I mean, yeah, you've got that one cutscene where they all fuse together into something straight out of Transformers, but all it takes is a little bit of nitrous and driving half a mile up the street to lose them. I thought the cops in Need for Speed 2015 were bad, but come on guys, where was I? Oh yeah. So, beat a most wanted racer, run his car into the wall to destroy it, Burnout style, and then the car is added to your lineup. Rinse and repeat 10 times until the credits roll unceremoniously. Look up disappointment in the dictionary, and surprisingly, a picture of me is no longer the first thing that comes up. It's this game instead. Now do you guys see what the problem is? This game tries too much to be like Burnout to the point where it ruins the Need for Speed name that it has attached to it. So, despite the polarizing opinions, Need for Speed Most Wanted left an indelible mark on the racing genre, setting a new standard for open-world experiences. Many of the racing titles that you see today adopted this drop-in, drop-out, free-roam gameplay that this game pioneered. You see it a lot in Need for Speed titles all the way up to the current day, as well as other franchises like Forza Horizon and The Crew. Craig Sullivan, creative director at Criterion and the center of the most iconic meme in the Need for Speed community thanks to Black Panther, was firm on the team's decision to go the route that they did when they created Most Wanted 2012. We took risks, and not everyone agreed with the direction we chose, but looking back, Most Wanted was a snapshot of its time, a bold attempt to push the boundaries of what a racing game could be. In the world of racing games, the legacy of Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 endures as a testament to the ever-evolving nature of the gaming industry. It's now looked back on with a heavy dose of nostalgia, although some players haven't donned the rose-tinted goggles and still see it as one of the lowest points in the series. But the truth is, they tried with this game. It was supposed to be a true sequel to the original Most Wanted, but the dreaded deadlines that Electronic Arts set for them ultimately resulted in the game that we have now. After Criterion released Most Wanted 2012, they would be pushed aside in favor of Ghost Games, who went on to create the next 4 Need for Speed titles, those being Rivals, which I have a video covering the game 10 years after its release linked in the description. After Rivals came Need for Speed 2015, the franchise reboot I talked about earlier, then 2017's Payback, and 2019's Need for Speed Heat. After releasing Heat to critical acclaim and record sale numbers, Ghost would close its doors right in the thick of the COVID pandemic, with the staff being spread all across EA. Some went to the returning Criterion Games, who released the most recent title, Need for Speed Unbound, to mixed reception. Ghost would become EA Gothenburg and act as a support studio, aiding development of various EA titles. But as it pertains to Most Wanted 2012, it ignited debates, divided opinions, but ultimately dared to dream and redefine what it meant to be Most Wanted. Thanks for watching. Okay, so a quick update for you guys. Where have I been? So short answer, school and work. I blame my procrastinating ass for not getting these finals projects done sooner, although handing them in now, I still finished a week and a half before the rest of the class because I'm just that good. But trust me, I haven't forgotten about you guys, and man, a lot has happened since I've been gone. We broke 950 subs, which thank you guys so much for that. All that's left now is the big 1,000 subs, and we're almost to 150k channel views, which is just absurd. For a full-time college student who edits his videos off of his phone with CapCut, you've got to give me my flowers for getting this far, because getting YouTube Partner without a single upload being done from your PC is seriously impressive. Now, the reason I included this author's note is because I wanted to make a quick advertisement about my channel memberships, as I've only briefly touched on them in certain videos. So for just 99 cents a month, joining my channel as a member grants you 24 hours early access to my newest videos. So if you aren't yet a member, consider joining, because what you're watching right now technically came out yesterday to a few of my members. They also posted questions for the Q&A that I told them I would be doing in this video. So let's get to that, shall we? So first question, what made you switch to covering news and updates in the Call of Duty scene as opposed to just posting gameplays? So great question, this is one I get asked quite a lot, An honest answer here, it's my voice. So for gameplays, you kind of need to see and hear the video to be able to digest it completely, and I was never the best at structuring gameplays. It wasn't until I posted the MW3 What You Need to Know video that I realized that that's the route I should start going. And I've been told I have a great voice for radio, and I'd much rather be the person that provides information to you guys instead of just playing the game and saying whatever it is I'm doing. So since switching to this type of content, I've noticed my watch time has completely skyrocketed, which I think can be attributed to the fact that these videos can be consumed in just audio form, so people are more apt to leave the video open and listen to it while they do something else. So thanks for the question, much appreciated. Next question, will you ever return to making rhythm game content? So on this channel, no. The videos that I've already posted will remain there, but I'm not sure if you caught my community post. I have a second channel now where I'll be posting rhythm game content and other stuff that doesn't fit here, so I will be sure to link that down below in the description. And final question, if you could work at any position for any game developer, what would you pick and why? Quality control for Treyarch, because it means that I can play early builds of the zombies and multiplayer for the Call of Duty games and report back bugs and issues. Being the way that I'm wired, I tend to spot glitches and bugs better than intended features, so I feel that I could make sure the games have a smooth and sailing release and life cycle, because Lord knows we need it now more than ever with how the last games have been broken. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in whatever video I upload next. Take care.